means you're also struggling to have tap-ins. We have not seen as a group, the body of work from the players that we've seen this week have not had that many putts outside 30 feet where they've been able to walk up and just tap it in, Earl. It's been a struggle in all areas on and around the greens.
Sebastian Munoz starting on the back nine with a birdie. Good pickup for him to begin his day, a 10-footer for birdie, so he's another one now in red numbers for the week. We have 6 players. We have doubled the number of players under par for the week today. 6 now under par with Matsuyama in front. 3 under.
I don't think it's going to stay that way. And these guys haven't played 7, 8, 9, or 15, 16, 17, or 18 yet. There's going to be a good little finish on both sides today.
Well, you know, playoff time, defense usually wins championships. It's going to take some defense to win. It's not going to be a lot of offense, Tom Wormy.
Matsuyama chipping. Third shot of the 5th from 25 feet away out of the heavy rough onto the green to the cup. Missed left edge and then rolled past the hole about 5 feet. So again, he'll have to put some pressure on that putter for a 4 here at the 5th and stay -3 for Matsuyama.
Give me $1 for every time we say 5-footer left for par, Earl. We'd be doing pretty well today.
Well, and with him, isn't that the story? I mean, look, he's 186th in strokes gained putting. That's where the struggles come from. You know, the rest of his game is usually just spot on and solid, and this week he's been really good inside the top 15 in strokes gained putting, but he's going to have another test right there coming up to stay 3 under, Fred.
Earl Rory McIlroy on the tee at our par 3 16th. This hole known as the Pool, 208 downhill, probably playing closer to 200 yards. This ball comes up just short and may have found the front bunker.
That's going to be tough from there. Not a great spot to be in for sure for him on that hole. And a little bit, we'll have Tiger see if he can. He really needs to just make a putt. You know what I mean, Earl? The way he finished yesterday, I mean, it wasn't good, but the putt that he had on the last hole wasn't very pretty at all. It was weak and pushed. He needs to have a nice, solid putt at number 1 that kind of goes in the hole and get him kind of kick-started.
And that range, 5-footer for par, basically just inside of it. And, you know, there are most weeks on the PGA Tour you cannot live, you can't survive facing 5-footers for pars all the time. This week, that's going to be par for the course. You're going to have to.
The guy who wins is the guy that does survive those 5- and 6-footers, and you're going to have to do it. It's just that type of a golf course. Very similar to what we had at the PGA just a few weeks ago.
Let's go to Will Haskett.
It'll be very interesting to see what these greens have in store this weekend. A lot will depend on tonight. Mackenzie Hughes for birdie at the 7th. 40-footer has left the flagstick in, up over a little ridge. It's got a lot of pace. It's going to need to hit that flagstick. Oh, it misses on the left side. What were you guys talking about, 5-footers? Here we go again at 7 for Hughes.
It's just a common theme. Everything's between 4.5 and 6 feet, it seems like. No one can just finish a hole, Earl.
Tiger's trying. He's grinding on this one, just above the hole at 1. Bad miss, missing the fairway bunker. Had to just pop it out. Played in from long distance. Left green side bunker. Played a pretty good shot to this point. 4 feet 9 inches. This is a delicate par-saving putt for Tiger Woods. Don't want to drop a shot. At the opening par 5, he stands over. Narrow stance. Pops the ball right into the cup. That was solid. That was rock solid. Dead center for Tiger. So good par. In the end at the par 5 to start his day, +3 for the week.
That almost might feel like better than a birdie if he drove it in the fairway and then did exactly that, because he was behind, as we say, the proverbial 8 ball, and he was able to perform and do the best thing he could do. Like, how am I going to make a 3 from here, right? And I honestly think that he was playing very far left of the flagstick. I think that left bunker is a better place to play than that front right bunker today. Let's get back out on the course. Freddie?
Well, Dennis, Rory McIlroy's ball, T-ball at the par 3 16th hole, I thought found the bunker, just cleared the bunker, still in the rough, in the fringe, 40 feet away. The ball banked up against the first cut, the primary cut of rough.
You're listening to exclusive coverage of the BMW Championship, the penultimate event of the FedEx Cup playoffs, from Olympia Fields Country Club in suburban Chicago, Illinois. And as we do at the top and bottom of every hour in our live play-by-play coverage, time now for a leaderboard update brought to you by MasterCard. Tap and go with your MasterCard, the simple, secure way to pay.
All pars today for Hideki Matsuyama. Leader overnight stays in front at 3 under, but he's going to have to make another par to keep that lead, Tom Wormy.
At the 5th green, 5 feet away for par for Hideki Matsuyama. Looking for the narrow escape at the hole they call Narrows. Ball up to the cup and in the middle from 5 feet away. Up and down out of the rough, short and right. Matsuyama -3 with a par save.
Stays in front by 1. Matsuyama 3 under, 1 back. Mackenzie Hughes -2. He has to save a par from similar length, Will.
Second straight hole with a 5-foot knee knocker and par save for Mackenzie Hughes. This to avoid a 3-putt. Downhill putt. Shouldn't move too much, but easy to invent too much break. Breathes on it down the slope to the cup, and that one cozies in the left center. All right, well, still has some water in it for the putter for Mackenzie Hughes, who stays -2 heading to 8.
Solo second, 2 under, 1 behind Matsuyama, then tied for third, 2 back. Tyler Duncan, Rory McIlroy, Billy Horschel, Carlos Ortiz, and Sebastian Munoz, 5 golfers at 1 under, tied for third.
Earl, some of the other players that are out on the golf course, Dustin Johnson, as you mentioned a little bit ago, just birdied the first hole, so he is even par, getting his day started, projected first in FedEx Cup points. Patrick Reed, a couple under through 2. He's back to +1 now, so that's a nice start for him. Xander Schauffele, he's 1 under par through 6 holes on the back 9 for +2. Justin Thomas, even par through 1, as is Tiger Woods. Both of them are +3. Bryson DeChambeau, 1 over par now in his round through 5 holes for +4. John Rahm made an early birdie. He is +4. Colin Morikawa is also 1 under through 5 for +5.
Path to the PGA Tour.
Number 2 over the corner of the dog leg, but it landed in the middle of the fairway and chased right on through. So he took on that, trying to shorten the hole up and get it over the corner of the dog leg, but he didn't take enough of it on with driver off the tee. It was a good swing. But where is it? It's in the rough again, and that's going to be the issue for the players. Do you lay up to the dog legs, or you try to cut them and try to fit the ball? It's a lot of those square pegs in round holes out there trying to fit in these dog legs, Earl.
Front 9 just starting. Justin Thomas just hit a great shot into 2 inside a couple of feet, so it looks like he'll be on the board with a birdie to get back to +2 and try to make a move on the leader. Hideki Matsuyama so far, with 5 pars, has stayed in front, 3 under pars. PGA Tour radio coverage from the penultimate event in the FedEx Cup playoffs continues at the BMW Championship.
Colin Morikawa talks about how he loves his new tailored.
It's almost a little lighter, a little whiter, grayer on the back. I think that's going to be nice visually for people. I don't think people realize enough that when you set it down, a lot has to do with alignment. Now, when you set it on the fairway with a 3-wood, whether it's a driver teed up, you want all your lines matched up. And I was talking to DJ earlier today, and he loves the new paint line on this sim driver because it squares everything up a little more.
Head out to your local retailer to get fit or visit TaylorMadeGolf.com to check out the new Sim family. Use promo code PGA Tour Radio on the website for free shipping.
The PGA Tour and PGA Tour charities are focused on providing help and support to local communities. The recently launched COVID-19 PGA Tour and Tournament Charity Relief Funds will assist in raising funds for the PGA Tour communities, as well as to the greater coronavirus relief efforts of the American Red Cross. Golf can continue to bring us together to support each other, inspire each other, and unify as one. Learn how we can support each other at PGATourCharities.org.
The PGA Tour champions are at it again. From Hall of Famers to rookies, these guys have seen a thing or two. With hundreds of trophies on their shelves, they compete as if they have none. Battling it out to prove they're better than the next guy. So tune in every week to the legendary action of the PGA Tour champions, where legends play. For more information, go to PGATour.com/champions.
Suburbs of Olympia Fields, Illinois, this week for the BMW Championship. Downtown in Chicago, historic Route 66 begins at Grant Park on Adams Street, right in front of the Art Institute of Chicago. The Main Street of America, as it's called, one of the original highways in the U.S., goes from Chicago to Santa Monica, California. Get your kicks on Route 66. Dennis?
Yeah, how about that? Little Santa Monica, just north of San Diego. Tiger Woods was just north of the fairway here at number 2 in the rough. Not a good angle, but hit a quality golf shot from 117 yards out. Carried just over the corner of the bunker that guards the left-hand side of the green with a bad angle. Got it to slow down. Didn't get it to stop, but it is about 20 feet from the hole, behind the hole. So a quality play from Tiger. 117 yards, and you're saying that's a really good shot to get it 20 feet. That doesn't compute, but that is actually a great shot for Tiger and a decent look now for birdie at 2.
First round leader Hideki Matsuyama still in front, -3 on a Friday. Tom Wormy?
Here at the par 3 6th hole, 63 feet away, back right to a hole location, back left, coming out of the fringe and chipping from Matsuyama. This is low, skidding and rolling, turning left 5 feet away, getting closer, and to the left of the hole about 3 or 4 feet away. Skillful, crafty little shot, using a little chip out of the fringe for Matsuyama from 63 feet away, and that for par here at the 6th, Fred Albers.
Tyler Duncan looking for a bounce-back birdie here at the par 4 17th. Put his approach to within 29 feet of the flagstick. This is slightly downhill. Should be no problem getting this ball to the cup. Tyler Duncan with the stroke. The ball rolls end over end up to the flagstick. Going to miss on the left-hand side and going to roll out 3 feet or so. That'll be a par putt upcoming for a Tyler Duncan.
An update on Adam Scott after those 2 quick birdies. He did, in fact, make bogey at 17, so not serious damage after hitting his drive right and into the penalty area. So Adam Scott is 1 under in his round right now, which there's not that many guys under par, and 1 over in total as he hits 18.
Right now on a Friday, 3 players would project to move inside the top 30. Mackenzie Hughes, Tyler Duncan, and Joaquin Niemann, who started the week projected as the first man out, number 31. He would move up to 29. So 3 in, 3 out. Those that would fall out of the top 30, Cameron Champ, Cameron Smith, and Kevin Streelman at this point. The last man in right now is projected to be Adam Long by 27 points over Cameron Champ for the last spot. And Dustin Johnson, who was on the board early today with a birdie, he projects as the FedEx Cup points leader right now, with Matsuyama in the lead, projecting second. Tom Wormy?
Hideki Matsuyama at the 6th, 5 feet away, underneath the hole, cut on the back left of the screen. And this is for the par for Matsuyama to keep it at -3. Matsuyama, steady over it. Here comes the stroke, rolls it up to the cup, and jams it right in the middle. With power and pace, it's a par at the 6th, Matsuyama -3. Let's go to Will.
From the back left corner of the green at the par 3 8th, Mackenzie Hughes has 65 feet for birdie at this long par 3. It is downhill the entire way, and he is playing 5-6 feet of break on the left-hand side. Since an outside left now gets to a ridge, it's gathering speed. It's going to miss low. He's hoping that it comes back to the left-hand side. He also needs to travel. Keep going, golf ball. If Mark Zucchino was here, he'd say we got to get out and sweep in front of it. And that's still got 7 feet or so for Mackenzie Hughes and his par here at 8.
The other ones hit the green. 215 yards. They're using 2 tees forward. Not 1 tee forward, but 2 tees forward, and it's in the middle of that tee box. So there's only 3 more tees in front of that. I mean, it's amazing playing to this front hole location, and he's on the green. He's the only one on the green. It's 85 feet. So the 8th hole is going to be a tough challenge for the players today. No easier than it was yesterday, and it was over 230 yards yesterday.
Good par save for Tiger Woods at the first. Second hole now. He's got a chance to get on the board with a birdie just inside 21 feet. 20 feet, 9 inches for Tiger, settling in above the hole, left-hand hole location at the second. This ball is going to move right to left on the way. A couple of cups outside. Now rolling toward the cup, turning left and turning a little too much. Good speed. Pretty good pace for Tiger. Inside a foot. It's going to be a tap-in easy par to stay. 3 over. Will?
We do not have good pace here at the par 3 8th for Mackenzie Hughes. Got so in love with the line of the putt, didn't remind himself to hit it, and his par effort comes up about 4 inches shy or so. That's a 3 putt, and you don't like 3 putts, but from 65 feet, you kind of brought it into play off the tee at this long par 3. We had 49 3 putts in a field of 69 players yesterday. I expect we'll have several more today. Bogey for Hughes, he's back to -1.
Billy Horschel just picked up another birdie, drove this ball up the left-hand side, and from 127 yards, hit the ball onto the green just on the left fringe, but holds it out from just inside 29 feet. So that's another birdie for him. He's made 2 birdies in the first 4 holes, and now Billy Horschel is 2 under par for the day, 2 under total, and that's what he needs to do. He's one of those bubble boys, Earl.
Did it in 2014, won the BMW Championship and the Tour Championship to win the FedEx Cup, Fred.
The 17th hole, par 4, known as Two Rivers. Rory McIlroy avoided the water, but put it in the rough left-hand side. Lie is good, and has a healthy 192 yards into a back hole location. That's on the green. That's hot. That has no chance to hold the putting surface. Landed on the front quadrant, one huge trampoline bounce, and then like a rabbit scattered over the green into the rough. He will be short-sighted.
I just can't play golf this way, Earl. I'm telling you. Playing out of the rough is like playing golf on a freeway. You got no chance to stop that golf ball. You just don't.
You just know you're on borrowed time, at that point, and it's going to be, look, it's part of the equation and a big part of it this week. Just like you said early, Dennis, it's not simple, but you kind of have to play simple golf this week. Try to hit fairways, try to not miss greens, and just make pars, and hopefully the birdies will kind of come to you.
Well, and the thing is that getting closer to the green with these canopies doesn't give you better angles at hole locations because you don't have a big enough green to get the ball to slow down coming out of the rough. So you need to be farther back so your angles are shorter. If you're 50 yards from the green and the same distance as you are 150 yards from the green, and you're the same distance in the rough, that angle's a lot easier to play up to the front portion of the green and try to get it on the putting surface.
And Hideki Matsuyama right now still in front, but 2 former FedEx Cup champs nipping at his heels. Rory McIlroy and Billy Horschel just one back early on a Friday as you're listening to coverage of the BMW Championship and the season-long points race for the FedEx Cup on PGA Tour Radio.
At the par 4, 17th hole, 28 feet away in the rough, but the lie's good. He's short-sighted, but should be able to pop this ball up into the air. Onto the green, now rolls out. This is up to the cup and runs by maybe 3 feet. That's well done out of Rory McIlroy. Should be able to handle par from there and remain at 2 under on the day and for the week.
Yeah, and I like where he hit that golf ball because that was an aggressive play. It went to a place where it was a pretty simple up and down, and that's really the goal if you're going to miss a green, have it simple.
13, Tiger Woods fairway medal using that low trajectory bullet, trying to get one in play, and he likes it. So I'm guessing this one, dead center of the fairway. So after a missed fairway right at 1, missed one left at number 2, finally straightened it out. 1 right, 1 left, 1 in the middle at the 3rd for Tiger +3.
And I think 3, it now becomes a hole that's kind of scoreable. You've got an opportunity from the fairway to play to that back right hole location. You've given yourself an opportunity. I was just looking at greens in regulation. The 8th hole, the par 3, for 2 rounds, only 38.6% of the players have hit the green in regulation. That's with a tee. I mean, tough par 3 right there, Earl.
A lot of pars for Hideki Matsuyama. Still in the lead, 3 under, Tom Wormy.
He's got to play out of a fairway bunker for this second shot. He missed the fairway, left it into the sand. Not a whole lot of lip issues to contend with. Most of Hideki visible from the green for this second shot from 146. Left-hand fairway bunker, and one last look at a hole location that is back right. The angle's not too bad. It is into the breeze and slightly uphill. This one appears to come up way short. And Matsuyama's ball not on the surface, coming up well short, so maybe the lie wasn't all that great, and he's very frustrated as he comes out of that fairway bunker here at this 7th hole.
It's interesting how many guys have not hit very good shots out of fairway bunkers, and they look gorgeous. They absolutely look perfect. They're very smooth. They don't have rut marks or rake marks in them. They look like they're almost, raked smoothly. I mean, the lies have been pristine, but guys have struggled making solid contact.
17's been a great start on the back 9 for Rory McIlroy. Birdies on both par 3s. Got one early at 11. So 2 under on the round, 2 under for the week after an opening round 70. Still some work for par just inside 4 feet. According to ShotLink, 3 feet 10 inches for Rory below the hole at the 17th. Back and through and in the middle So that's been a strength for McIlroy today. The putter knocked one in with that flat stick from off the green, and he remains 2 under, 1 back.
Yeah, it's helped him. You know, it's saved him with a couple of mistakes, with the exception of the one putt that he missed. And I think he hit a really good putt there. The bogey that he made early, hit it outside the hole. It just broke a little bit more. Maybe hit it a touch light on speed, but it wasn't one of those where he hit it. As soon as he hit it, he goes, oh, man, that's not going in. He still believed that when he hit it, he put it on the proper line with the proper speed. It just missed on that low side.
Yeah, and for McIlroy, we went over the numbers yesterday. The struggles for him, certainly a player of his caliber, has not really been in contention since the resumption of the season. No top 10s, tied for 11th at the Travelers Championship, his best finish since the return to play, but in the mix here, and a win this week could put him number 1 on the leaderboard in FedEx Cup points to start the Tour Championship as he looks to repeat. Will Haskin?
Mackenzie Hughes looking for his first bounce back of the day. Gouges out of the right rough at 9 from 157 yards to a back left hole location. This looks really good. Lands short and left, hops up the hill. It's going to miss on the right-hand side, but it's going to hold the back of the green. It'll be downhill and quick, but it'll be just inside of 20 feet for Mackenzie Hughes to indeed bounce back with a birdie. To give you an idea of how the conditions have softened just a bit today, the wind has laid down just a couple of miles an hour enough that players are able to take it over the far bunker down the right-hand side at 9. At points yesterday, that was unthinkable.
Yeah, it is playing a little easier. I think the greens are slightly more receptive. I'm not seeing quite as many trampoline hops from the fairway or on the par 3s. We're seeing balls react a little better than they did yesterday early in the round. Late in the day, the greens got very firm. They're definitely a little softer than that. And the bottom line is you can't shut the water off on this bent grass as hot as it's been. They got to get a little drink every night. So I'm really impressed with how firm they are and what the superintendent has done, because this golf course is in as good a shape as you could expect it to be playing here this time of the year.
Rory and his group, Xander Schauffele, Brendan Todd, they're wrapping up their first 9 at the 18th. Rory driver off the tee at the difficult 18th, 491 today, and missed the fairway. So there you go, Dennis. You do that, and I don't care where it is, you bring bogey into play this week when you're not hitting fairways. So McIlroy has got some work to do at 18 to try to keep it 2 under at the turn.
Yeah, and you don't want to be doing that on 500-yard par 4s. Today with the hole location in the middle of the green, they've moved the tees up slightly, so it's only 491 today. But you've got to put the ball in the fairway, especially on these longer par 4s. At least, this 18th hole, there's a little bit more width between the bunkers so you can chase something up front, but you're not going to be able to get anywhere near the flagstick no matter what side of the fairway you're coming from.
Let's go to the green there at 18 right now. Occasional caddy for his wife and LPGA champion Christy Albers when she played on the LPGA Tour, Fred Albers.
I may come out of retirement next year, Earl, for the U.S. Women's Senior Open. Christy's still exempt for that competition, so maybe I'll put a bag on my back one more time. This 18th hole is a difficult one. It's called home, 510-yard par 4. Tyler Duncan, remember in the opening round when this was his last hole, hit driver 3-wood and was short of the green, got it up and down for par and 2 under in the round. This time he has put it 22 feet away. I thought it was his turn, but I believe Mark Hubbard is going to go first, guys.
All right, well, you mentioned that you might work for your wife, but why not your son? You don't want to be working if it's a free gig, bud. You're not going to be getting paid on that, bro. Figure it out, Freddie.
Tiger's been working hard to start his day. Missed fairway at 1, par 5. Had to just punch one out and made a good par there in the end. Good par for him at number 2. Had a birdie try. Now checking the wind, throwing some grass up. He's in great shape here, Dennis. 303 off the tee, so 165 in. A back right hole location at 3rd.
Yeah, the thing about... It's uphill 4 or 5 yards, so that's a 170-ish, but the wind is out of the left and kind of mostly across. So this fits his eye very nicely. Tiger likes to cut it, so let's start it towards the middle of the green. Slide it along that breeze to that back right hole location. Tiger plays away, and it's on a pretty decent line left of the hole high. It's in that 20-foot range, I'd say. It was a smart play, a safe play. Not nearly as aggressive as I think Tiger could have taken right there, but maybe it was just a little bit of a tweener number for him, but a decent look for Tiger at 3.
To Fred Albers.
And Earl Tyler Duncan trying to one-putt this 18th green for the second day in a row. Made an 8-footer to save par late in the day on Thursday. That's a 22-footer for birdie to turn even par. Stands at 1 over the round, 1 under for the week. Slightly downhill, should move from left to right. Ball rolling up toward the hole, gives up on that one early. And it bends down to the left-hand side, and that's going to require a mark for Tyler Duncan. A tentative effort there. Let's go to Tom Wormy.
Hideki Matsuyama at the 7th, the par 4, came up well short with his second shot out of a fairway bunker. He's 62 yards away out of the first cut to a back right hole location. Lofts this one onto the green, takes a bounce and a little bit of check, rolls up to the right, and stops left of the hole about 4 or 5 feet away. That's a skillful play, and out of that first cut of rough, he got a little action on that golf ball. He may say par yet after birdieing it yesterday and shooting 67 for Matsuyama.
All right, it's not been easy for Matsuyama to this point. He has been cobbling pars together. They have not been tap-ins and easy pars for him, so he needs to turn that around. He's not giving any shots away, but he's making it awful hard on himself right now.
And Rory McIlroy missed fairway at 18. Let me give you a statistical representation of what, something like this means. He's 1 shot back, Dennis, right now, 1 shot off the lead in this tournament, which would project him 5th in FedEx Cup points. So if you look ahead to what that means next week, the leader in FedEx Cup points would start 10 under par. The guy 5th would start 5 under, 5 shots back. A birdie for McIlroy would project him in the lead to number 1 in FedEx Cup points. So 1 shot is worth 7 shots for a guy like that that's trying to repeat, a 2-time FedEx Cup champion. I mean, it's very early in the week, I know, but keep those numbers in mind, those top spots, and how 1 birdie, 1 bogey either way could mean a huge swing to start the final week, the season finale in Atlanta. Tom Wormy?
Hideki Matsuyama to get his par at the 7th. The short roll for par from about 4 feet away, and that's not a problem. That's right in. Very confident for Matsuyama. Up and down from the fairway. Trouble off the tee. He erases that, getting up and down and making his par. -3 Matsuyama. All par so far in the second round.
If you're near television, coming up just a moment away, top of the hour, second round coverage begins from Olympia Fields. While we get underway, you can listen to our broadcast and then watch the action on television on golf until 7 o'clock Eastern.
Hughes to turn with a circle on the card. Not a lot of movement. Speedy putt. Outside left. He sends it down the hill. He needs it to come back right. It's trying to get to the left edge, and it did. Wow. Boy, a little body English for me and everybody involved in that one. Helped that one cozy in on the high side. That is a sexy little 3 on the card and a bounce-back birdie for Hughes to return to 2 under par, heading to 10.
And back into a tie for second now with McIlroy and Horschel, 2 under for Mackenzie Hughes. And 1 of 3, just a shot back. 2 behind, 1 under par. Tyler Duncan, Lanto Griffin, Sebastian Munoz, Carlos Ortiz. 4 golfers, just 2 shots off the lead.
Well, some of the notables that we have out on the golf course, definitely for sure. Patrick Reed got off to a great start. Birdie's at 1 and 2. He's a couple under par, and he's now back to +1. Also at +1 is our projected number 1 in FedEx Cup points. That's Dustin Johnson. He is even par through 3 holes. Xander Schauffele, he is 1 under through 8 for +2. Also +2 is just.
This ball comes down to the green for Matsuyama, hits front right, skirts the right edge of the green. Now it's going to fall off right into a closely mown chipping area right of this green and stop about 50 feet away from that whole location on the front middle part of this green. So Matsuyama has missed off to the right at this par 3, playing 215 today.
It's been a struggle for him, a lot of a struggle for him of late. I mean, it's put the ball in the fairway, he missed the green, puts the ball in the rough and has a hard time hitting the green. If he does, he's a long ways away from the hole. It's just been very difficult.
Billy Horschel, who birdied 2 of his first 4, missed a fairway, missed a green at 5. That cost him a shot. First bogey of the day for Horschel, so he drops 1 back to 1 under on the day and 1 under for the week, 2 off the lead. And again, this is where it all started, that late season run for Horschel when he won by 2 over Bubba Watson at Cherry Hills to win this tournament in 2014. Very next week, 1 in Atlanta at East Lake, and just like that, bang, bang, Billy Horschel kind of came out of nowhere to win the FedEx Cup title. Someone could do that this week and next week too, Dennis.
Yeah, and if you remember correctly, Billy Horschel was in that final group at Northern Trust, or, the week prior to that. I believe it was called Deutsche Bank back then, but he chunked it in the hazard from the middle of the fairway. He would have gone on to win if he made a par on the last hole, I believe, if that memory serves me right. So he played incredible golf through the playoffs that year, as Tiger Woods now trying to clean this up. ShotLink has this at 3 feet 10 inches, and shadow's not an issue. There's no shadows on the green at all, and Tiger's shadow is behind him. This putt looks like he's trying to play it out of the hole. He does, with pace, and it breaks all the way into the left side of the hole, little right to lefter. So that's a 2-putt par for Tiger. He's 3 over through 3.
Fred Albers to you.
Awful lot of slope on this 18th green, and an awful lot of distance separating Rory McIlroy's golf ball from the cup. Just inside of 70 feet, downhill, side hill. Usually I say get this 3 feet. It's a great putt. We're going to widen that circle out to 5 feet. Really tough to get this one close. Rory did chip in from 40 feet away a couple holes ago. And strokes this putt from inside of 70 feet. This is nicely paced, creeping down toward the cup. That's really good. I think that's inside of 3 feet for Rory McIlroy. What a touch right there for Rory McIlroy. You only tend to remember putts that go in. I'm telling you, that is great. He's going to be able to tap that one in. That is a great putt and a great 4 for Rory McIlroy.
That was a great call, Freddie. I was totally on your page there. That was no man's land back there. He was playing 10 feet a break, and that last 20 feet was really fast. So well judged by Rory.
Yeah, so that putter coming through, that's a great 2-putt. I mean, it was just an easy tap in. That was inside 2 feet. McIlroy got it to about 1.5 feet and finished up there very quickly. So easy par for McIlroy, makes the turn. 2 under on the back nine. That's a pretty good score going out on the back nine, Tom Wormy.
75 feet away and chipping for Hideki Matsuyama, closely mown area to the right of this green, a little bit below the level of the green, sends it onto the surface, checks up a little bit, releases and rolls, turning left to the hole for Matsuyama, and it's in! Right into the middle, chipping from 75 feet away. Matsuyama with a 2 at the 8th and -4.
Wow. He is just, he can't be scored any better than he has to this point, Earl. He's got everything out of his round of golf right now.
And the front nine, 5 under in the front nine this week, 4 under coming home yesterday, and now 1 under heading to the 9th hole that he birdied yesterday to close out. And that was a miraculous long-distance birdie, but that's where he took the lead. Now he's got a 2-shot lead, 4 under heading to 9. Will Haskett?
Golf is an amazing sport. I think Mackenzie Hughes has played about as good a round of golf as he could, and he's 1 under par. Just kind of steady. He's missed a couple of decent birdie looks. He's got 102 to a back left hole location after piping a drive here at the par 4/10. That birdie at 9, absolutely massive. To back up the bogey with a birdie and now make the turn and get 2 really scoreable holes at 10 and 11. Wedge in hand, very similar shot down breeze to the one he flagged at 2 about 2 hours ago. Way up in the air. He's a big skip with this one. Gets 1 hop, 2 hops. Oh, it releases. Beautiful shot. Mackenzie Hughes peels off under the hole right. That's inside of 10 feet for back-to-back birdies. Hughes here at 10.
So that's a great point that Will just made there. And these guys that are now making the turn and got through that 3-hole gauntlet on both sides are going to have some scoreable holes coming through. And Rory's one of those guys now making the turn. He's got that opportunity now on the front nine at 1 and 2 that have been playing fairly easy also as he makes a turn.
And how about a couple of these Hideki Matsuyama birdies so far this week? Drained a 66-footer at the end of round 1 at the 9th yesterday to take the lead. He just knocked one in from outside, 70 feet at the 8th.
75 feet away and chipping for Hideki Matsuyama, closely mown area to the right of this green, a little bit below the level of the green, sends it onto the surface, checks up a little bit, releases and rolls, turning left to the hole for Matsuyama, and it's in! Right into the middle, chipping from 75 feet away. Matsuyama with a 2 at the 8th and -4.
1 under, clean card until then, and Matsuyama extends the lead to 2 shots. Midway through his round on the Friday, PGA Tour radio coverage from Olympia Fields Country Club continues at the BMW Championship.
If practice makes perfect, then Club Champion is the nation's best club fitter. Their studios are designed with one goal in mind, helping you play.
Just Despite these unsettling times, we've got some exciting news for our loyal listeners. Golf Breaks by PGA Tour is running a very cool sweepstakes, offering a chance for two people to win a trip to the Players' Championship in March. The winner will receive accommodations for 3 nights in Jacksonville, weekend tickets to the tournament, including access to the Captain's VIP, hospitality on Sunday, and daily transfers to and from TPC Sawgrass. If you want to enter, just visit theplayers.com/contest. Top 70 in FedEx Cup points. This week, 69 of those players on hand. South of Chicago at Olympia Fields Country Club in suburban Chicago, Illinois for round 2 of the BMW Championship. Only 30 advance to the Tour Championship in Atlanta next week as we wrap up the PGA Tour season. It's been a unique season on the PGA.
Right now projects 15th in FedEx Cup points thanks to his T2 position on the leaderboard, but a chance to break out of that tie, get to -3. And again, so early in the week, but when you came here knowing you needed a big finish to make it to Atlanta, Hughes has done the early work to this point. 9 feet for birdie here at the par 4 10th. A right-hander's dream. Little uphill, should move ever so slightly from right to left. Can be aggressive with the pace, is outside right, too aggressive with the pace in the line. And did not take the left-hand turn. He's had a couple of putts he's had to be very gentle with today. It's the first time in a while he's had one he could really wallop and just played a little bit too much break. Yeah, misread here. Cost him a chance at a birdie. Hughes stays 2 under, heading to 11.
And Will, somebody just walloped a putt was Justin Thomas. He hit it inside about, I call it maybe 20 feet at the 4th hole, but he absolutely hammered that putt, and it went in with pace. So birdies at 2 and 4 for Justin Thomas. He's down 200 par for the round and only 1 over par, and kind of doing what he needed to do. Earl, that's the thing. If you're kind of out of position, what do you need to do? I got to get off to a good start. The golf course has given us a little something on those first hour on the golf course. Take advantage of that and then hang on a little bit. Then take advantage on the beginning holes on the back nine.
Well, 2 big names have done it. Thomas and then Rory McIlroy in the back nine. 3 birdies and a bogey to turn it 2 under par. Now within a couple of shots of the lead at -2, so his second 9 starts on the par 5 at the first hole. He was just on the tee. He had a good tee shot at that par 5, a big one for McIlroy. Schotling has that 377 for him off the tee at the first, Dennis.
Wow, and Tiger now set to play here at the 4th, trying to hoist that straight up into the air, and he's done that, and that ball lands short of the hole and gets it to grab. Wow, that stopped quickly. That ball only hopped forward about 4 or 5 feet and then stopped dead. So outside 20 feet, but it'll be a birdie look for Tiger Woods with the pars that he's made. He's +3.
Let's go back to 1, Fred Albers.
Tyler Duncan Earl in the greenside bunker, lying 2 at a par 5 opening hole, 32 feet away. Tyler splashes that out. That ball tries to grab, but doesn't do so till it rolls, maybe 10 feet, maybe just inside of that. That'll be a birdie putt upcoming for Tyler Duncan. 1 over in the round, 1 under for the week. He was 5 of 6 in bunker saves in the opening round.
Yeah, it was a cute little story that he said. He goes, we're not going to any bunkers today. We don't need to go to that chipping green. There was a chipping green about 50 yards away from the putting green. He goes, I'm not going to any bunkers today. We've played enough bunker shots. Then he goes ahead and hits it in, 5 or 6 of them? And so is a completely different animal. But he played them really, really well. And it's kind of a neat story because, sometimes they're using another green on the other golf course or something to use for a short game area just before you tee off. And he elected not to work on his bunker play, and he still hit a lot of quality bunker shots.
That drive by Rory at 1, second best of the day. DJ hit 1, 383 there, made birdie. So McIlroy in almost a similar spot, just about 12 yards or so behind or 5 yards or so behind where Dustin Johnson was. So this is a great chance now with a big tee shot there for McIlroy at the par 5 at number 1 to maybe give himself a good chance at another birdie here to keep this thing going today.
Yeah, it really is. It's a big drive. Right-hand side of the fairway, left-hand side of the fairway, there's no way he can get it close to the hole. But if he could chase it up in front between the bunkers and get it kind of left of the hole and give him that, 25 or 30-foot range putt, you can get it 30 feet from the hole if you get it somewhere near the front of the green. But you just can't take it over the bunker. I don't care who you are. Rory's got a window that he can hit it in. Is a lot higher than a lot of guys, but the green's just way too far. There's only 4 yards over that bunker and the hole location there at number 1.
Well, and Matsuyama coming off his first birdie to extend the lead, a chip in from outside 70 feet at the 8th hole. So after 67 on Thursday, 1 under and a clean card so far on the front nine as he plays the 9th hole, where he had that 66-footer yesterday to close things out for a birdie, but missed fairway right for him, so he has not hit many today. Only one fairway hit. Somehow Matsuyama's kept it clean. He'll have to find a way to do it now at 9, Fred.
Tyler Duncan won over in the round, but a chance to make that up from inside of 10 feet for a sandy birdie at the first. Strokes that ball rolling up and out of that quickly. Push that a little to the right-hand side, so that goes down as a 2-putt par for Tyler Duncan. He remains 1 over in the round, 1 under for the week, now through 10 holes.
He hit a nice big drive there, almost 350 yards off the tee, but just wasn't able to get that ball up around the green and get it up and down.
Billy Horschel bogeyed 5, missed the green at 6. He just tapped in for another bogey, so after a 2-under start through 4 back-to-back bogeys at 5 and 6, back to even par for the day and for the week.
It just gets so frustrating. You do what you need to do, Earl, to get kind of that day started, and then you go and give them back in the middle portion of that front 9. And those are the holes that really, 5 is narrows. It's a short hole. You got to just put the ball in the fairway, and you should be able to make a par. Let's go back out to Freddie.
Matt Wolff all set to stroke the ball, but he backs off as a gust of wind comes up. He has a 7-foot birdie putt at the par 5 opening hole. He's 1 under in this second round. Here's a guy to keep your eye on. He's very capable of making a run to this championship. Clean card today. Go 2 under in the round. Takes it back. Strokes that ball, rolling it up. Tentative stroke there. Peeled out to the right-hand side. Almost a little bit of a decel there. An unfortunate par there for Matt Wolff.
The leaders at the 9th hole, Matsuyama, Tom Wormy.
He's got 157 yards, Earl, but he missed the fairway off to the right, only by a couple of steps, but he's in some heavy primary rough. On his practice swings, he was really chopping down near that ball, just trying to test the consistency of that rough, and it was certainly grabbing his club. We'll see how much he can get on this shot from 157 hole location left side of the green. Oh, this does nothing but knuckle and come up way short. That was like a knuckleball, and he swung like he was trying to hit a home run down the left field line, and it rolls into the rough and perhaps into a bunker short end of the left. The contact was just awful, and that could have been predicted based on those practice swings. Matsuyama in a little bit of trouble here at 9.
Yeah, we've noted quite often that the worst rough on the golf course is those first couple of paces. If his ball is another 2 yards to the right, it's much lighter. It doesn't get hit with as much of the water that the fairways get. It's so much lusher. That first couple yards, you got to get really lucky to get a good lie. And that lie was absolutely horrible. You couldn't even see any of his shoes there.
So Matsuyama has some work to do at the 9th in the lead, and Rory McIlroy 2 back with a great chance, big drive, chance to go for the green in 2 at the first in 60 seconds.
Next week.
Round 2 at Olympia Field, 71.2, the scoring average, so not nearly as difficult as that closing scoring average on Thursday, Dennis Paulson, but throughout the day yesterday, it got a lot tougher pretty quickly. The winds came up. They seem to be blowing and coming up again today, so yet to be determined how tough this is going to get in round 2 right now. Maybe a little more forgiving, do you think?
Maybe a little, but I was thinking that around this time, couple hours in, that it was around 1.5, and it's 1.2 right now. So I think it's close to the same. I think the point that Will made a little while ago, where the winds may be just slightly softer than they.
Will, thank you. Here at the 9th, Hideki Matsuyama, 79 feet away with a bunker play to a hole location on the left side of the green. It is into an uphill slope that may help him with this shot from 79 feet away, a couple feet below the level of the green. Scoops it out of the sand, onto the green, one bounce to the hole, missed just outside the left edge, and rolled past it about 4 feet away. So that's an outstanding shot on that long-range bunker play for his 3rd at the 9th for Matsuyama, and here we go again. A little 5 or 6 footer for his par at 9.
Tiger Woods out at the 4th hole gave himself a pretty decent look. The ball ended up just outside 25 feet. He hit a really good putt that looked good all the way and just broke above the hole. So Tiger Woods will tap in for his par. That's all pars through 4. He heads to 5 at +3.
Yeah, kind of holding ground, holding serve right now, and started his day with a bad drive in the fairway bunker. It was a missed fairway, but just a bad spot. Had a chip out, really didn't have much of a chance to make a birdie at that hole, but found a way to get up and down, made a par, and it's been all par since. So he's kind of steadied things after missing a couple of fairways to start things off here on a Friday.
No, he has. And, the second hole he didn't hit in the fairway, but he did have, a decent enough lie where you get it on the green. But 3 and 4, he both hit the fairway. So let's see if he can kind of get a little bit of momentum, put the ball in the fairway. 5 is narrows. There's a lot of trouble on the 5th hole off the tee. It's a narrow shoot. There's been multiple players that have hit trees off the tee and not hit it more than about 200 yards off the tee. So get that ball in the fairway. You'll get a short iron in your hand. This 5th hole today, just playing 408 yards. And as fast as these fairways are, that's a 360-yard hole at most golf courses.
And at the 9th, the leader, Hideki Matsuyama, who's made a bunch of big par saves, has another one coming up at that 9th in 60 seconds.
If you 7.5 feet away, beyond that hole, which is cut on the left side of the green, middle left, this for par, and slightly downhill. Matsuyama for the sand save and to keep it at 4 under. Out to the left, back to the right, and misses right edge. He's had a handful of putts from this range and made them all prior to this one as it missed off to the right. He taps it in from 8 inches away. It's a bogey at the 9th for Hideki Matsuyama and -3.
Yeah, he drops one there. You can't keep going to the well continually making pars. He's got to tighten it up a little bit. The scoring is okay, but he's got to put the ball in the fairway and put himself on the greens and make it just a little easier as he makes the turn trying to post a round of golf. He's cobbling it together right now, but he's running out of stones.
Just short of the green at 11. A lot of players giving it a ride, trying to get near the putting surface. Cantley in a bad spot in the primary rough. About a 50-yard pitch shot. Oh, that's a soft landing. Good. Well done. As he gets that on the green to the cup, and it catches the lip, and it goes. Patrick Cantley from the rough holds it out for a deuce at 11. What a great shot. -1.
I cannot believe he held that out. That lie was so thick, and he just played that absolutely perfectly. I mean, that was really classy. Quick little eagle there. The second eagle of the week now, Earl. We've gotten 2 eagles. You had 2 eagles every hour last week.
And Dustin Johnson had a couple of them himself one of those rounds. Rory's got a chance, a long-distance one, Fred Albers.
Well, here's the numbers at the first for Rory McIlroy. 377 off the tee, 237 in, and 57 feet. 57 feet for eagle and 4 under par. Reached this par 5 in 2. Sends that on its way. Rides a ridge. Now curves to the left-hand side. The pace here looks good. Working up to the cup. Not going to go, but a superb effort from 57 feet away results in a 2-putt birdie for Rory McIlroy.
There you go. I mean, there's no way to get it close to that hole today. I'm sure when the pin gets back left, it might be a little more accessible like it was yesterday. But, man, when it's tucked over that front right bunker, there was just no room there, and that was really well done. Rory's long putting today has been outstanding. I mean, outside of 50 feet, he's walked up and tapped in every single one of them, and that says a lot about the work that he did, or just he's got a better feel on the greens today than he did yesterday.
You're listening to exclusive coverage of the BMW Championship, the penultimate event of the FedEx Cup playoffs, from Olympia Fields Country Club in suburban Chicago, Illinois. And as we do at the top and bottom of every hour in our live play-by-play coverage, time now for a leaderboard update brought to you by MasterCard. Tap and go with your MasterCard, the simple, secure way to pay.
And the old 2-shot swing on top of the leaderboard. Matsuyama bogeys the 9th. Rory tap in 2-putt birdie at the first, his 10th of the day. So McIlroy and Matsuyama now tied for the lead at 3 under par. And one back, Mackenzie Hughes has a chance to make it a 3-way tie, Will Haskett.
41 feet away for birdie from Mackenzie Hughes, who hit a good tee ball but did not play the angles game here at 11. Trying to make amends, big putt, swinging from his right to left up the slope, looking good to the right side, and almost broke enough to get in the cup. It's a really good judge on the pace. It will result in a 2-putt par. But a prime example of hitting the fairway but really not giving yourself a chance to make birdie. Hughes will make par here at 11 and stay at 2 under.
And one off the lead, a co-lead by Rory McIlroy. Hideki Matsuyama now 3 under. Hughes solo third, -2. And a handful of golfers at 1 under. One of them is Adam Scott with one of the rounds of the day. 3 under through 11 for Scott, now tied for 4th with Patrick Cantley, Tyler Duncan, Lonto Griffin, and Sebastian Munoz. 1 under, 2 shots back.
Some of their players out on the golf course. Justin Thomas, 2 under par now through 5 for +1. He's projected 3rd right now. We've also got other players out there. DJ projected number 2 right now, with Rory McIlroy taking the top spot at projected number 1. He is 1 over par through 5 holes and +2. Tiger Woods projected 56th, right where he started the day at even par for the day, and 3 over in total. And our PGA champion, Colin Morikawa, 1 over through 9. He is +7, currently tied for 60th.
Season number 30 in the Korn Ferry Tour continuing. Victoria National Golf Club, Southwestern Indiana this week. Korn Ferry Tour Championship presented by United Leasing and Finance, where Nicholas Lindheim has moved in front in round number 2. 11 under par now, 1 up on Seth Reeves, who solo second at -10. Rory McIlroy, what a great round going. 4 birdies, 3 under, and the defending FedEx Cup champ has caught hot Hideki Matsuyama for the lead. 2 players, 3 under, as we continue our PGA Tour radio coverage from the second of 3 FedEx Cup playoff events of the BMW Championship.
This is live second round coverage of the BMW Championship on PGA Tour Radio. The PGA Tour looking for passionate golf fans who have ideas for its broadcast, social media platforms, digital properties, and other products that impact the golf experience. It's recruiting fans to test drive the latest products and innovations and share valuable insights on how it can enhance the game for all fans. Most activities now come with the chance to receive 1 of 3 $100 digital gift cards. So to become a member, visit PGATourFanCouncil.com. In the second round, we have co-leaders at -3, Rory McIlroy and Hideki Matsuyama, but I am at the 10th hole with Matsuyama, the par 4, and his tee shot is well left. In fact, he's closer to the 9th fairway than he is the 10th fairway outside of the tree line and in the rough. Another erratic drive from Hideki Matsuyama, for the moment, shares the lead with Rory McIlroy at -3.
Oh, Tommy, he's got to clean up the tee balls, man. He's making life very difficult for himself. Tiger Woods, on the other hand, has hit 3 consecutive fairways, and at number 5, nicknamed Narrows, drove it up the left-hand side to a right hole location, and from 160 yards, played a pretty decent shot, but it released through the green, so Tiger's going to have a chip shot inside 50 feet for his birdie. He's currently +3. Let's go to Will.
Mackenzie Hughes from the middle of the fairway at the par 4 at 12th. It's called Channel. There's a creek that cuts across the front of the fairway at 290 yards. Players have been laying out most of the week with an iron, and that leaves a long shot in. Back right hole location today, very difficult to get anything close as Hughes plays in. One-handed finish. He was trying to carve in a little cut. This is hanging out to the left-hand side. Needs a soft bounce. It bounces once, twice, and gathers spin. It's just a mild double cross, but it results in a birdie putt outside of 35 feet for Mackenzie Hughes here at number 12.
I'm a big baseball fan, and I've been fortunate enough to be able to go to Wrigley Field, the number 2 or the second oldest baseball field in the country, behind the famous Fenway Park and the Green Monster, but just a great place to go watch a baseball game there at Wrigley Field. And the Sox are actually playing some pretty good baseball themselves in this pandemic season. Let's get back out on the golf course. Tom Wormy?
Dennis, thank you. We told you Hideki Matsuyama had pulled his tee shot into the rough well left of the 10th fairway. Had about 120 yards to a back left hole location, but that was not the target. Just trying to get it somewhere near the green, and he was able to chop it out of there through the trees and short and right in the fairway grass and the ramp that leads up to this green. So short of the green into Matsuyama -3 as we go to Will Haskett.
Patrick Cantlay with some fireworks today. Has a chip-in birdie and a hole-out eagle. Just piecing it together with some bogeys on the card as well, but right back in the thick of things, and now will play from 182 yards out at 12. Trying to play a little cutter, starts at the middle of the green, back right hole location in his sights. This is cutting on a good line. It's going to land softly, trying to skip forward. It does get a little bit of a hop, And it ends up underneath the hole, just towards the middle of the green, some 25 feet or so for Patrick Cantlay to go eagle birdie at 11 and 12.
I don't know if I can be critical, but there's a difference in the greens today. There's some greens that are landing a little soft.
Hammers it up that ridge, outside left. Now needs to turn back right. It has, but it's running out of enthusiasm as it tries to work down the hill. And that one just put on the brakes and did not trickle down the other side of the ridge. Still 3.5 feet for Hughes and a 2-putt par.
There's just so many guys that just can't get up there and just finish the hole. It's just been such a struggle for a lot of the guys. The speed has been a little better today, I would say, overall than what we had yesterday. There was a lot of putts that weren't even close, and they have seemed to have been just a little better. Let's get back out to Fred.
Rory McIlroy, 104 into the par 4 second hole. This is his inward 9. Got to get some juice on this as the green runs away. Ball in the air at the hole. Oh, he spun it. Spun it maybe a little too much, but that's a good play. Rory McIlroy in the 15-foot range, looking for 4 under par.
That was a really good play, and that was right there. Even the sand wedges aren't getting those big hops. It's not necessarily where you're going to leave it. It's just not reacting the same. Now Tiger from 6 feet outside the right edge got a break, and it broke a little, but not enough. Caught a piece of the hole, so Tiger Woods is going to make his first bogey of the day. That's going to be at number 5. He drops to +4, and now he's headed to the par 3 6th, and there has not been a birdie made there all day. Will?
Patrick Cantlay looking for a traditional par breaker at the 12th, 21 feet for a birdie. The ridge will influence the golf ball from his left to right. Putting straight up the gut, not a lot of movement, and can be aggressive with the pace. Birdie putt en route for Cantlay. Outside left, cutting right, nice line, and just a bit too much pace for it to take the right-hand turn. Crease the left edge, and will be a 2-putt par for Cantlay to stay at -1.
Let's get out to the 10th with Hideki and Tom Wormy. Another par putt he's facing.
Yeah, Dennis, just over 5 feet away, slightly downhill. He's beyond the hole, which is cut back left. Remember, his tee ball was well left. He could only get the ball in front of the green, and he chipped it to this position. This is to avoid back-to-back bogeys. After chipping in for birdie, you'll recall, at the par 3 8th from 75 feet away. What a ride it's been over the last few holes for Matsuyama, and this to keep him at -3 in the bright sunshine south of Chicago. Olympia Fields Country Club. Rolls it down to the hole, breaking a little bit to the right, and Matsuyama missed it left. Didn't move enough for him, so that's consecutive misses from short range. 7.5 feet for bogey on the previous hole, and 5 feet away here at the 10th. He taps in. It's going to be a 5 on the card. Bogey around the turn, -2.
So with that miss right there, now Rory's going to have a good look at the second, his 11th hole of the day, to extend the lead in 60 seconds.
Preparation is round of the BMW Championship. Mackenzie Hughes tapped in for his par at 12. He waits on the tee at the par 3 13th and watches as Patrick Cantlay plays away at Baby. 1 under for Cantlay from 171 yards. Good-looking shot right at the hole. Lands about 30 feet short of the cup and bounces forward inside of 15 feet. Patrick Cantlay at 1 under par with a good-looking birdie to get to -2 here at the par 3.
And Rory McIlroy with the stumble by Hideki Matsuyama now in the lead and projected number 1 in FedEx Cup points. So all these struggles, frustrations we've talked about since the return to golf for Rory McIlroy can all be erased this week as he's in front now on a Friday, Will.
Breeze trying to freshen Earl to make this afternoon a bit more interesting. Just haven't had the same fire on the golf course as yesterday. It is still very hard, but not nearly as difficult at this juncture, I thought, on Thursday. Mackenzie Hughes playing into the par 3 13th. Slightly uphill from 171. This is way out to the right against the breeze, hoping that this ball will fall back to the left-hand side, and it does. It gets knocked out of the sky and does cover the front edge of the green. It'll be a long ways from home, some 35-40 feet for Mackenzie Hughes and his birdie effort here at 13.
Yeah, but he's on the green, and that's really the key. I mean, I'm not going to get too fired up about anything that's, inside 35, 40 feet. That's not always bad plays. Might not be great plays, but they're not bad plays as tough as this golf course is playing. Let's go to Fred.
Dennis, when Rory McIlroy left the golf course last night, and I did not talk to him, but listening to his interviews, I got the impression that he thought he was in contention and was building momentum. He didn't play great in that opening round, but he didn't play bad either and got a feel for the golf course. Shot an even par 70, and you had the impression that he had a little confidence that it was capable, or he was capable of putting up a number at this golf course. And he hasn't pressed. He's hit some quality shots. He's hit some wayward putts, but he appears to have the air of a man who is confident in his game right now. Has an opportunity to get it to 4 under par with a birdie putt at Crook, our par 4 second hole. It's just inside of 20 feet. Dennis, there's a bunker on that left-hand side. Should it come off that shoulder?
I think it's going to initially for sure. I'm just not quite sure about the last half. And I think they misnamed it too, Freddie. The hole's not straight. Crooked would be a better name for it than Crook.
I think it's named after a shepherd's crook, that long cane with the hook at the top. Yes, a crook is crooked. Rory McIlroy for a birdie at the par 4 second. Strokes the ball up and out of it really quickly. Doesn't look like that bad a putt. Had a chance to go in, but Rory shakes his head and taps it in. Was left the whole way for Rory McIlroy. Still a solid, easy par for Rory McIlroy. He stands at 3 under on the day and for the week.
Yeah, and I think that's really important. I mean, it was a good opportunity, but hey, he walked up there and tapped in with 1 foot. It makes life a little simpler and a little easier on a tough day.
Tiger Woods now at 6, coming off bogey, 4 over for the week. Smooth swing off the tee at the par 3. A little bit of a club flip, so Tiger likes it. As he puts it hole high, hit and stop. No, it's not going to stop. It'll trickle to the back edge. Catch a little slope and back up. Around 30-foot range for Tiger, back edge of the green to try to bounce back after the bogeys, 4 over.
This whole location's just impossible. I mean, no one's getting it close to the hole. There's been one short miss, but there's not been a birdie at the par 3 6 hole. A short-ish plane, 190 yards, not playing that yardage today with where the wind's at, and no one's made a birdie yet. I mean, it's just a tough little par 3.
And hit a tee shot. He liked it all the way, and now, 25 feet or so for a birdie to try to get on the board, and he's got that stretch coming up, 7, 8, 9, too, to wrap up the opening 9, where he finished with 3 straight bogeys yesterday to turn an even par round into a 73, and now at 4 over par. Again, we're seeing what can happen, though, with a little bit better scoring, it looks like. Early in the day, you get to 2 or 3 under, you're making a move. Rory McIlroy's vaulted to the top of the leaderboard with a 3 under round today, now 3 under for the week.
Yeah, and for Tiger, that 1 over par round of golf is really starting to put too many people between him and where he needs to be, Earl. He needs to turn this around. He can't afford to be where he's at right now at +4, which currently is tied for 40th. You can't have half the field ahead of you. It's not necessarily, how many shots back you are. There's just too many guys in between you that have the opportunity to play well now, and he can't afford to have too many guys finish ahead of him between now and Sunday.
To Will Haskett.
39 feet away, Mackenzie Hughes, another long-range birdie putt. That has been the MO for the last 45 minutes or so after long-range birdie putts at 11 and 12. And I look back on this round and think that the birdie putt he missed at 10 looms a little bit larger, but again, in great position in this tournament. Uphill putt the entire way here at 13 for the Canadian. Looks down the line one more time now, slides the putter behind the golf ball. Green completely in sunshine, one of the more elevated parts of the golf course. Birdie putt on its way, outside right, a lot of pace, working up the slope to the left-hand side. That's not going to go down. But it was an aggressive run at it for Mackenzie. Hughes has a little bit of work left back down the slope for his 2-putt par, protecting 2 under here at 13.
Yeah, and that's really what it is. It's protecting, self-preservation, whatever you want to call it. You make a birdie, it's like, okay, that's good. Can I make some pars now? Because I'll still pick up some shots on the field if I can do that over the next little bit.
And scoring as we go on here, getting a little tougher than the last time we checked it now. A shot and a half over par, 71.56. So in the afternoon on Thursday, scoring bumped up pretty quickly for a while, certainly later in the afternoon. And right now, I just counted 21 players under par for the day so far. Rory McIlroy and Adam Scott have the best rounds at 3 under and both on their second 9s.
That's a huge number. I didn't think it would get to that this afternoon. And I don't think the hole locations are that much easier. There were some that were a little tighter to the edges. But even the ones like, for example, there's a hole location that's 5 on the front. It's 10 off the right. but it's still 5 from an edge. I mean, almost every hole location on the golf course right now is 4 or 5 from some edge, whether it's the front of the green, the back of the green, the left side of the green, or the right-hand side of the green. They are really tucked a little bit. Maybe the players, I think, are more than anything, are figuring out the greens and the pace of the greens a little better today. Let's get back out on the course. Will.
13 feet now, Dennis, for Patrick Cantlay to convert for birdie here at the 13. This would get him to 2 under par and making a charge on a Friday afternoon. Cantlay strokes it up the hill, lots of pace to the cup and in. Okie dokie, we have got something cooking with Patrick Cantlay. He is 3 under in his last 3 holes, including that hole out at 11, and Cantlay suddenly 2 under par.
Starting to feel it a little bit. Watch out for Patrick Cantlay, because he likes tough golf courses, if you remember correctly. It's very similar to a Memorial-type golf course. Similar grasses, tough golf course. You got to play angles, figure it out, and Patrick Cantlay is on a nice little run right now, which is hard to do out here.
Yeah, and a couple of holes has changed the direction of his day. In 37th in FedEx Cup points, one of those who would right now project inside to the top 30. 4 players currently: Cantlay, Mackenzie Hughes, Tyler Duncan, and Adam Scott projected to play their way in with a par 70. And, tough to get on runs. Cantlay has now and has matched Rory McIlroy and Adam Scott for the low rounds of the day. 3 under. Will?
Mackenzie Hughes still has 4 feet, and it's back down the slope after being aggressive with his birdie effort. Taking plenty of time, walk to the opposite side. Now strokes a 4-footer down the slope, and that one's center cut. So he stays 2 under as well as we head to 14.
The thing that is really interesting, because I was looking at the bottom half of the draw, and those guys outside the bubble, you got the 2 Camerons, Cameron Champ and Cameron Smith right now, are 7 over and 10 over. They're 32nd and 33rd now in points, which sounds like they're close, but as poorly as they're playing, they need a lot of shots to pick up points. So they're well outside the number, even though they're 22nd or 23rd. It's the guys at the top that really are volatile right now, because you get so many points when you pick up a shot. The guys at the bottom have got to play a lot better to get back in the hunt.
Over to Tom Wormy.
At the 11th, Hideki Matsuyama hit his tee ball way left. He's got a tree in front of him, a horrible lie, 80 yards away, and trying to chop it onto the green. It's in front of the green, now rolls on the right edge. It's a pretty good play. It goes up the right edge of the green and goes beyond the hole, perhaps 15 or 20 feet away. Out of that position, that was fantastic. He had just a little alleyway to use the ramp in front of the green, and he was able to do it. It rolled into the rough, but still a very good shot for Matsuyama to extract himself from a difficult spot here at 11.
4th hole, Adam Scott, 25 feet for another birdie. Good putt. It just edges out. Just almost caught the right edge there. Good putt for Adam Scott. It's going to be another par for him on a day where he's made 4 birdies, so he's going to stay at 3 under par. Nearly made another one there. -1 for the week.
Yeah, Earl, he's played well. With the exception of the tee ball at 17, it's been a rock-solid round of golf for Adam Scott. So hopefully he can continue that good play, because he's in that kind of, now we're getting into that area of the golf course where the 5th hole, you got to put the ball in the fairway. 6, as I mentioned, has not been birdied yet. And then 7, 8, 9, you've got your hands full, especially if you don't play from the fairway. The 8th hole has been one of the most difficult holes to hit the green on all day long, and they've got the tee way up, and it's only playing 215 yards.
And Adam Scott, of course, really just restarting his season. Did not come back for the return to play until the PGA Championship. Finished tied for 58th at the Northern Trust a week ago, and one of those with work to do. But you talk about players who play well in tough golf courses. There's one right there, Adam Scott.
Yeah, it's funny. I saw him at the PGA Championship. I said, "How you playing?" He goes, "Huh? I have no idea how I'm playing right now. I haven't been playing that much, so we'll just have to wait and see." And he actually played pretty darn well that week. So didn't really skip a beat, because he took one of the longest breaks of anybody on the PGA Tour.
Back edge of the green at number 6. Tiger coming off bogey at 5. Hit a good tee shot. It just trickled to the back edge. So above the hole for him. Going to be a right-to-left breaker for Tiger. 24 feet. For Tiger for his first birdie of the day. Settles in. Gets the putt on the way. Trickling down toward the cup. He's got to hit that one. That one's not hit, and that's still outside 4 feet. Maybe closer to 5. Oh, Tiger just looking away disgustedly as he's left himself a ticklish little par saver to avoid a second straight bogey, Tom Wormy.
touchy little chip out of the rough at 11 for Matsuyama, right of the hole location, which is cut on the right side of the green, only about 15 feet away, and just a short stroke with a lofted club to get it onto the green, rolls up a little bit short, maybe 3 to 4 feet to go for his par here at 11. If you look back on his round, guys, by my count, you have to go back to the par 3 sixth for a green in regulation, and even then he was a little bit off of that right edge in the fringe there at that par 3. He's been a little wild off the tee, and it's cost him so far.
Yeah, it's smoke and mirrors for him right now. This is a battle of survival, and he's done a very good job to get himself to